Welcome back to my channel, ladies and gentlemen, and this has quietly been my favorite week of being a Houston Rocket fan, probably my whole life. As we've brought in Kevin Durant, we've brought back Dorian, and we've let go of Jalen Green, Dillon Brooks. Um, and I just want to talk about how our team gets better from this move, as Kevin Durant is still the top 10 player in the league, absolutely, and how our team benefits from this trade, and why we're a top 2 team in the West. So let's dig in. So the first thing is we have a top 5 scorer in Kevin Durant that's came over to the team this offseason. And what he provides that no our best scorer last year, Jalen Green, did not is an in between game. He has one of the best in the league. This year Kevin Durant shot 50, I think 53, 54% in the mid range. He is the second best mid range shooter in the league as we speak, behind Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. And on midi pull ups, he actually shot 59%, which was the best in the league. So what that does is that unlocks a whole nother area of the court for us. And when you have such an in-between game like that, what the Rockets don't have is elite spacing as of now. With Alperen Sengun and Amen Thompson on the court, you don't have elite spacing. And that's something that I think that did hold Jalen Green back. That's something that Kevin Durant doesn't need because of how good his in-between game is. He can get his own shot at ease on all three levels of the court. The mid-range just unlocks an area that we have not had pretty much ever since we had Carmelo Anthony for those 10 games. So this is why Kevin Durant, I don't see him struggling as a scorer with us because of, I think his scoring is just so effortless. No matter the situation he's in, he's going to be able to score 27 points a night and efficiently as well. And that's all we need because that's all we need to beat the Warriors last year, and we went to a game 7. That's all we need. So that's the first part of Kevin Durant's game that he adds to us that we just didn't have pretty much ever since Carmelo Anthony. Now, what else does this in-between game do for our offense? Kevin Durant's gravity is going to allow a lot of opportunities for cuts, and the Rockets are one of the best cutting teams in the league, and this is something that the Suns did not do well. Look at how Colin Gillespie here doesn't cut, Ryan Dunn doesn't cut. You're going to see a lot of space on these shots that Kevin Durant is missing here, where they had the opportunity to cut and nobody did. Gillespie had the opportunity there. He didn't decide to cut. That's something that the Rockets do at one of the best rates in the league. Devin Booker had a lot of space in that play, decided not to cut and attack that space. That is something that Kevin Durant is going to find a lot easier to do on the Rockets. Going to show you some more examples. Once again, D-Book doesn't cut. Gillespie doesn't cut. They're all just standing there stationary. No type of off-ball movement. And the difference with the Rockets is not only are we going to have a men standing dunker spot sometimes, Tari Eason can cut. Like I said, a man can cut. Sengun can cut. Fred can cut. The whole team can cut. We're constantly cutting to break down the defense. Look at once again, Tari Eason cutting from the corner. This is something that Kevin Durant and his gravity is going to allow even more opportunity and space to cut, which is how Amen and Tari like scoring majority of the time when they're off the ball. As if, they're not the best shooters in the world. Obviously, Amen can't shoot, but he brings a lot of value in the dunker spot and as a cutter to an offense, as he's one of the best play finishers in the entire league, as he's one of the most athletic dudes that we've ever seen. Once again, Amen cutting here. I'm going to show you a few more examples of this. So Kevin Durant's in-between game and his gravity, something that we scored off of a lot. Jalen Green and Sengun's gravity. Having Kevin Durant, who has demands even more attention on the court, that just makes everything a lot easier. As once again, Tari scores off this cut. Once again, not only did we improve there, our defense just got a lot better. Kevin Durant kind of reminds me of a Victor Wembanyama. In terms of his wingspan. His wingspan is extremely, extremely long. And one thing that Dillon Brooks wasn't was lengthy like Kevin Durant. Jalen Green, obviously, he wasn't a good defender, so he doesn't make us better or worse. But Kevin Durant definitely makes us better in a signing of Dorian Finney-Smith. Kevin Durant is incredible on and off the ball as a defender. I would, say he's a top 15 probably wing defender in the league. He's certainly a better defender than Dillon Brooks. Don't let Dillon Brooks fake hustle that he will give you every night fool you. Kevin Durant's length, his weak side rim protection, him as a roamer. He's not a better on-ball defender than Dillon Brooks, but he's definitely a better off-ball defender. the shot blocking, the ability to force turnovers, that will all go to Kevin Durant. The pick and roll defense, the ability to play defense in transition, that will all go to Kevin Durant. And that's something that Houston kind of needed outside of Jabari. We had size, but we didn't really have the length, outside of Jabari. And you saw how much we needed that size / length when Jabari got hurt and we fell off defensively. We fell off a cliff whenever he broke his hand last year in the regular season. We went from second, I think, to like the sixth best defense instantly. Kevin Durant is going to provide more of that length that we kind of need because Alperen Sengun is a small center. He's going to be probably our best rim protector outside of Jabari. Well, definitely our best rim protector outside of Jabari. And that's why I like this Kevin Durant pickup as well. I also love the Dorian Finney-Smith signing as our defense once again gets better. We replaced Dillon Brooks with Kevin Durant in that trade. Defense got better. We also added Dorian Finney-Smith. We have just an abundance of size on this team. And please pause that. But we have an abundance of size on the defensive end, no pun intended. And that's going to allow us to really be able to guard any types of players. We have one of the most switchable, if not most switchable teams, especially when we're going to go on our small ball lineups with Jabari at the 5, Fred VanVleet at the 1, the man, Kevin Durant, Tari Eason, etc. And we also have Dorian Finney-Smith now. Dorian Finney-Smith, ever since he's been a starter, has been a 40% three-point shooter on like 5 attempts. That's something that Dillon Brooks brought to us last year. Dorian Finney-Smith is I would say, a great to borderline elite on-ball defender. You can't run out of 3-and-D wings in today's league. You can't run out of those, especially when you have Tari Eason and Amen Thompson, whose 3 balls are shaky. Having a guy like Dorian Smith, who is shooting 40% from 3 last year on like 5-6 attempts, that is something that you cannot replace. You cannot get enough of those dudes. They are one of the most valuable, if not the most valuable type of role player archetype in the league. And that's also going to help Kevin Durant because Dorian is also very good off the ball. Now, I really don't know what to say about the Clint Capella signing. Other than I hope, but maybe we're planning to trade one of our centers. I don't know what Clint Capella is going to really add for us, as he's not at this point in time. He's not better than Steven Adams. He's not better than Sengun. Maybe we're going to trade Jock Landale, and that's the spot he's going to take. But I don't really know what to say about that signing. I am very, very ecstatic as a Rockets fan to see what we got going on. The only team I would say that are better than us definitively are probably the Oklahoma City Thunder. As of right now, that's the only team I can say that's better than us definitively. But the teams I am worried about in the West, I'm definitely worried about the Denver Nuggets with the new additions, and I can make a video on that as well. Y'all just let me know if y'all want that. I can definitely make a video on the Dallas Mavericks because they scare me as well. The San Antonio Spurs scare me. In the East, the only team that really scares me is the Philadelphia 76ers if they're healthy. But we don't really have to worry about the East when we get to the finals. But my way too early predictions for this year, there might be a little bit of biasness. I think the Rockets at minimum go to the Western Conference Finals, and I think our ceiling this year is the NBA championship. I want to see Kevin Durant hold up his 3rd trophy, his 3rd Finals MVP. And we're going to do it against the 76ers. That's what I want right there. That's my predictions. Thank you guys so much for watching.